Day 1 for E.N.D here. Day 1 for the spoilers of Zendikar Rising. I have already showed you some cards that have been spoiled during the adventure party of Wizard of the Coast. We know that expeditions will be in Zendikar Rising as box toppers, 1 in the draft booster boxes and set booster box, 2 in the collector booster boxes as non-foil, but the foil version of the expeditions can be only found in the collector booster boxes. Part of the expedition's 30 lands card will be the 10 fetch lands. But apart from the 10 fetch lands, we have also some good lands. 2 of them, Ancient Tomb and Cavern of Souls. Cavern of Souls is one of those lands apart the fetch lands that everyone would want one in his or her deck. Let's start our spoiler. Kabira Outrider, 3 and 1 white, it's a 3/3. It has party. Cliffhaven Sellsword, 1 and 1 white, it's a 3/1 vanilla creature. Farsight Adept, 2 and 1 white, it's a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, you and target opponent each draw a card. Shell Shield, 1 blue, it has kicker. Target creature you control get +0/+3 until end of turn. If you kicked it, it gains hexproof. Zulpor Duelist, 1 blue, it's a 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, up to 1 target creature get -2/-0 until end of turn. Its controllers mills 2 cards. Expedition Diviner, 3 and 1 blue, it's a 3/2. Flying, as long as you control another wizard, Expedition Diviner has, when this creature dies, draw a card. Grotak Bugcatcher, 1 and 1 red, it's a 1/2. Trample, whenever it attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each creature in your party. Spitfire Lagak, 3 and 1 red, it's a 3/4. It has landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. This is the showcase version of the card. Gnarled Colony, 1 and 1 green, it's a 2/2, it's a beast, has kicker 2 and 1 green. If it's kicked, it enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample, including itself. Might of Murasa, 1 and 1 green, kicker 2 and 1 green, target creature get +3/+3 until end of turn. If it is kicked, it gets +5/+5 until end of turn. Tajuru Blightblade, 1 green, it's a 1/1, it has Death Touch. Pelaka Cavern, we have the Modal double face cards. These cards can enter the battlefield, in this case as a land, enters the battlefield tapped and you add 1 black, or it can be a sorcery, cast as sorcery, Pelaka Prediction, 2 and 1 black, it's a sorcery, target opponent reveals their hands, you choose a card from it with converted mana cost 3 or greater, that player discards that card. You cast or play this card, you cannot transform it once it's casted or played. Merfolk Windrobber, 1 blue, it's a 1/1, flying. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, the player mills a card. You sacrifice it, draw a card, activate this ability only if an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. Windrider Wizard, 2 and 1 blue, it's a 2/2, flying. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery or wizard spell, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Runecrab, 1 blue, it's a 0/3, landfall. When a land enters the battlefield, each opponent mills 3 cards. Murasa Rootgrazer, 1 green and 1 white, it's a 2/3, has vigilance. You tap, you may put a basic land card from your hand onto battlefield. You tap, return target basic land you control to its owner hand. Cleric of Life Bond, 1 white and 1 black, it's a 2/2. Whenever another cleric enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Whenever you gain life for the first time each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Cleric's Life Bond. Legion's Angel, 2 and 2 white, this is the first rare card, it's a 4/3, it's Angel Warrior, flying. When it enters the battlefield, you may reveal a card you own named Legion Angel from outside the game and put it into your hand. In a sanctioned tournament outside the game means it's in your sideboard. Coveted Prize, 4 and 1 black, it's a sorcery. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. If you have a full party, you may cast a spell with converted mana cost 4 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. It's not a bad card. Tajurus Paragon, 1 and 1 green, it's a 3/2, it's an elf. It's also a cleric, rogue, warrior and wizard, so can be in your party. Kicker, 3. Whenever it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, Reveal the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a card that shares a creature type with it among them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Co-founding Conundrum, 1 and 1 blue. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, if that player had another land enter the battlefield under their control this turn, they return a land they control to its owner hand. Orach Skyclave Hierophant, 2 and 1 white and 1 black. It's a 3/3 legendary creature, lifelink. Whenever it or another cleric you control dies, return target cleric card with lesser converted mana cost from your graveyard to your battlefield. Zareth Sun the Trickster, 3 and 1 white and 1 black. It's a 4/4. It has flash. 2, 1 blue and 1 black. Return an unblocked attacking rogue you control to its owner's hand. Put Zareth Sun the Trickster from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may put target permanent card from that player's graveyard on the battlefield under your control. So I think it's a very, very strong creature. First Mythic, Drana, the Last Blood Chief, 3 and 2 black. It's a 4/4. It has flying. Whenever it attacks, the defending player chooses a non-legendary creature card in your graveyard. You return that card to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. The creature is a vampire in addition to its other types. The last card in the spoiler, NISSA of Shadowed BOUGHS, 2, 1 black and 1 green. It's a legendary planeswalker NISSA. It has landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a loyalty counter on NISSA of Shadowed BOUGHS. Untap the +1, untap target land you control. You may have it become a 3/3 elemental creature with haste and menace until end of turn. It's still a land. The -5, you may put a creature card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of lands you control on the battlefield from your hand or graveyard with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. We have also the borderless version of NISSA Shadowed BOUGHS. It's a very beautiful card. It's a very powerful card. It's a 4-drop, 4/4. It is a Golgari NISSA. Very strange colors to combine with NISSA. Usually NISSA, it's a mono green. And we had also a NISSA that was blue and green. This one is green and black. Let's see tomorrow how many cards and what cards will be spoiled for Zendikar Rising. Stay tuned to my channel.